Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yoshai.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yoshai.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yoshai.
We'd like to give all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles, and that was a great millstone. True well. Salutation to the hopeful elect that day, brothers sincerely doing this thing in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Shimon to my right. And our brothers are what we'd like to get into today is salvation. You know what I'm saying?
The first verse, right?
You can start off with John 4. Because you gotta understand one thing. Salvation, the salvation that's coming to the planet Earth when Yahushua comes back is not for everybody. That's a key thing, alright? Salvation is only for the nation of Israel, chiefly the elect. And we're going to start with St. John 4 and 22. You know? You can read up a little bit. St. John 4 and
20.
Where you at? St. John 4.
Worship in this mountain. This is
17. Sure.
This is St. John 4 and 17. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Yahushua said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband.
Yeah, this is the Yahushua speaking to the Samaritan woman, alright? Which, you know, she was a thotty, you know, pretty much. Yahushua's going to call out on that. Okay, go ahead on.
Verse 18. For thou has had 5 husbands, and he whom thou hast now is not thy husband, and that saidest thou truly.
Yeah, in other words, you know, the Lord can read minds. So, you know, the Lord know a whole backstory. You gotta understand, the Most High does things for examples that we may learn. You know, Yahushua know the Samaritan's whole backstory. You know, she didn't have 5, and she on her 6.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, she just popping him.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? It's fucked up because in today's society, if a bitch tells she'll say something like, I only been with 6 niggas. That's a low number now.
Yeah.
A bitch told me one time I only been with 12 dudes or 10 dudes or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead.
Verse 19. The woman said unto him, Sir, I have perceived that thou art a prophet. Verse 20. Our fathers worship in this mountain, and he said that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship.
First of all, she was going off. The reason she's saying our fathers, because King Shalmaneser, when he took the northern tribe out of the land of Samaria, you know, he put different heathens up in there, Hamites and such, all right? And they took on our customs, you know, this Samaritan woman being one of them. Go ahead.
Verse 21. Yahushua said unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Verse 22. Ye worship, ye know not what.
Yeah, they don't even know what they're worshiping. Just like these so-called Jews today. They call themselves, you know, the children of Israel and Judah and all that. They don't know what they're worshiping, because if they did, they know Yahweh Shem Yahushua despises them. They're of the tribe of Amalek. Go ahead.
We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
Salvation is of the Jew. All right? When you go into Genesis 49 chapter in the sons of Jacob, and you know the particular prophecy concerning them, Judah is the 4th son. All right? But the Babylonians, they grouped Judah, Benjamin, and Levi together and just called them all Jews. All right? So when Yahushua was on the scene, that's who he was really dealing with, the southern kingdom. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, the elders went into it that you had northerners scattered throughout there, but it was primarily Judah, Benjamin, Levi. You know, so salvation is of the Jews. All right, chiefly the elect of the nation of Israel. Let's bring that out. St. John 7 and Revelations the 7th chapter.
What verse?
7 and 1.
This is Revelation 7 and 1. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth nor on the sea.
Those winds represent destruction. All right. When you read the book of Revelations, the 17th chapter, I believe it tells you that the sea is peoples, nations, and such. So pretty much the angels are holding back the destruction, the coming nuclear destruction from this planet, man. Go ahead.
Nor on any tree. Verse 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power, and cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. Verse 3, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads.
Yeah, now seal the servants of their power. All right, so only the elect is going to have that seal. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's how come the scriptures talk about in Ezekiel 9 and 4. The mark, that mark in Ezekiel 9 and 4 is the wall, means except from judgment. Those men that have that is the ones that sign and crying. Right, the elect. Hold what you got, hold that, brother, and go to 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 18. Saying because what? Yahweh Shimon Shah always had a certain group of men that's not gonna bow down to any particular society. They're gonna 1 Kings. They're gonna always do the will of the Lord. 1 Kings. You want 2 Kings? It's over. 18 and 19.
This is first.
There you go.
This is 1 Kings 18 and 19, right?
Come on, brother.
Now therefore send and gather to me all Israel unto the mount of Carmel, and the prophets of Baal 450.
Try 19 and 18, brother Bashar.
1918.
Yep.
This is 1 Kings 19 and 18. Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed into Baal.
Yeah, so this is what the Lord is telling the prophet Elijah, because he thought it was the only prophet left. He thought he's the only God-fearing man. But there'll always be a remnant of God-fearing men. All right? Because what? The spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophet. If you're a God-fearing man now, you're always gonna be a God-fearing man whenever you walk the earth. Go ahead.
And every mouth which have not kissed him. Verse 19. So he departed thence.
So read that from the top again.
This is 1 Kings 19 and 18. Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal.
7,000 is just a number. You know what I'm saying? A complete number, right? Now, 7,000. You gotta remember. There's a ratio of righteous to wicked in terms of men. It's pretty much 1 to 1,000. So I mean, if you have like a population with 100,000 people, probably you're only gonna find like 1,000 righteous men. Saying, which is crazy. Or 10,000 people, you only find 10 righteous men. So it's scarce to be a righteous man. All right. You know, you can jump back to Revelation 7. That's how I come think about it. 144,000. That's a small number in comparison to the amount of spirits on this planet Earth, man. What?
Verse 1.
Yeah.
This is Revelation 7 and 1. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. Verse 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seals of the living power, and cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. Verse 3, saying, hurt not the sea, Revelation 7 and 3, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads.
Right, seal the power of the servants in our foreheads, man. All right, now pretty much when you go down, it's going to tell you that there's 12,000 of each tribe. All right, now jump towards the latter end of that verse, where it says there's a mixed multitude. After it says the 12,000.
9, right?
Is it?
Yeah. Revelation 7 and 9. And after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude.
Now we didn't particularly go into all the 12 tribes, but the 12 tribes you see on the 12 tribes sign, it said 12,000 of each of them, which adds up to 144,000. Those are the prophets. All right, but a third of Israel is gonna make it. So every 3 Israelite you see, one of them is gonna die. But in that third you have the elect, right? And also you have a mixed multitude. Right, now read that part.
Revelation 7 and 9. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues stood people and tongues stood before the throne and before the Lamb.
Yep, stop right there. Now that great multitude of nations and kindreds and such, there are Israelites too. All right, to prove that, go to 2nd Ezra chapter 3 verse 16. Let's see.
This is 2nd Ezra 3 and 16. And unto him thou givest Isaac, and unto Isaac also thou givest Jacob and Esau.
All right, so we know Jacob is, the progenitor of Jacob's name was changed to Israel. All right, which brought forth the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Continue.
As for Jacob, thou didn't choose him to thee, and put by Isaac.
Now put by, read it again.
2nd Ezra 3 and 16. And unto him thou givest Isaac, and unto Jacob also thou givest Jacob and Esau. As for Jacob, thou didn't choose him to thee, and put by Esau.
Put by Esau. Now, put by is Old English for reject. So when you read the book of Romans, the 9th chapter, it links up with 2nd Ezra 3 and 16. Go ahead.
And so Jacob became a great multitude.
Whoa, Jacob became a great multitude. Now, the brother just read that in Revelation 7 and 9 that he saw the angel saw a great multitude. That great multitude was the Israelites that scattered amongst these different nations. Go to Tobit, the book of Tobit, chapter 13 and verse 3. It's before as pardon me. It's after.
13 and 3.
Yeah, 13 and 3 to 5. Yeah, go ahead.
This is Tobit chapter 13 verse 3. Confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he have scattered us among them.
Oh, that's how come when we go out the word, whole St. John, whole 1 John 4 and 1. 1 John 4 and 1. Actually, I'll get it for you since, I'll read it. I'll get it. But, pretty much, I'll get it right now. Here it is. This is 1 John 4 and 2. Pardon me. 4 and 1, okay. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of the Most High, because many false prophets have gone out into the world. So, as the prophet Tobit mentioned, we have to confess the Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua before the Gentiles because we're scattered amongst them. All right, because you could have Israelites that look like Edomites, Moabites. I'm gonna use the so-called names: white people, Chinese people, East Indians. Our people are scattered, so we have to try the spirit by the spirit. You know what I'm saying? So finish that up. In Tobit.
This is Tobit 13, verse 4, right? They declare his greatness and extol him before all the living. For he is our Lord, and he is our power, our Father forever. Verse 5, and he will scourge us for our iniquities.
And he did do that, He scourged us for our iniquities. Slavery, even now, you know what I'm saying? We're still under these curses, but we're going to read in the book of Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, that when this salvation happens and we get out this land, we're not going to come back here again. Continue.
Verse 5, it says, and he will scourge us for our iniquities and will have mercy again, and will gather us out of all nations among whom he hath scattered us.
Wait a minute. Read Revelation 17. Read Revelation chapter 7, verse 9 again, Baba Kushak. Read that 5th verse and then read Revelation 7 and 9.
This is Revelation 7 and 5.
Pardon me. Read this, and then read that.
Tobit 13 and 5, right?
Come.
And he will scourge us for our iniquities and will have mercy again, and will gather us out of all nations among whom he hath scattered us.
Now read that.
Revelation 7 and 9, right? After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man can number, of all nations, and kindreds, and people, and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands.
Yeah, so that's the elect that was scattered amongst these other nations. All right, because we just read in 2nd Ezra 3 and 16 that Jacob became a great multitude. And the prophet told us that we have to confess his name before the Gentiles and the nations whom he has scattered amongst. And then we just read in Revelations that, listen, John the Revelator saw that happening. Why? Because Isaiah 55 and 11, the Most High word is not go out void. He says that he's going to deliver the 144,000, 1/3, and those that are scattered amongst the other Gentiles. Right? So the Most High is not a man that he should lie. He's not a man that he should repent. Now we can go to Deuteronomy 30th chapter, 30 and 1.
This is Deuteronomy 30 and 1.
Wait a minute, before you go that, get Jacob's trouble, because I think it says that he shall be delivered out of that. Because the topic is salvation. Because not only are we going to be ultimately delivered out of America, but through our daily lives, the Most High saves us pretty much out of our predicaments. You know what I'm saying? Our trials and tribulations, we're saved through prayer. And the Most High having mercy. There's gonna come martial law, as you can see out there on Texas, storms and tempests. But the Most High have mercy on them, brothers. All right, another storm might come, Jacob's trouble. But Yahweh Shem Yahshua will always find a way to deliver his elect.
Jeremiah 30 and 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
That time is vastly approaching now. We saw with the 3 square that the chip is convenience. You know what I'm saying? With your brother out there in Philly, the Bach, he did a topic on that convenience lesson of the chip. And when you look at the word convenience, it just really means to conform. And what does the scripture say? Be ye not conformed to this world. Also he made a good statement. He says easier is not always better, because today's American generation is like, pride themselves in being lazy. I mean, what the fuck, you need a chip to open your door for you? I mean, you can't just open the door with your hand, but whatever, go ahead.
It says, but he shall be saved out of it.
But he shall be saved out of it. Is all Israel going to be saved out of Jacob's trouble? No. Get Sirach 33 and 1.
This is Sirach 33 and 1. It says, there shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Lord.
That feareth the Lord. Not all Israel fear the Lord. Go ahead.
It says, but in temptation, even again, he will deliver him.
And the scriptures tell you, blessed is the man that is able to overcome temptation. What's temptation? The day-to-day hell that we go through. And the ultimate temptation, the hour of temptation, is going to be that mark of the beast. All right, the RFID microchip. Okay? But no matter what is brought upon us, the brothers that sincerely doing this thing, Isaiah 33 and 6, the Most High is going to keep us stable through those times. You don't have to get it. What I would like for you to get, though, is Zechariah 13. But we're going to close out with Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter. It's all about the elect, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're trying to be a part of. Because we already know that 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they're going to die off for the rest of these nations. Now, the scriptures say all Israel will be saved in the book of Romans, the 11th chapter, and the 7th verse, 7 to 8. But how will they be saved? Through childbearing in the kingdom of heaven when they come back in their right mind. I believe that's Daniel 12. And matter of fact, Slakia, before you get that, go to Daniel's. Read that and then we go to Daniel's 12.
Zechariah 13 and 9 or 8?
13, 8, and 9.
Alright, this is Zechariah 13 and 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die.
66.6% of the nation of Israel is going to be burnt. Die. And rightfully so. I ain't complaining. Shit. We ain't the ISUPK that's trying to save all black people. Because we know that all quote-unquote black people ain't righteous. Right? 2/3 of the nation of Israel. You got to understand it. You got, like, who said this? Malcolm X? You have field niggas and house niggas? You got niggas that want to be house niggas. They want to be homeborn slaves. That even happened during the time in Egypt when we got delivered out. The majority of these niggas wanted to go back. Mosai killed all them niggas off in the wilderness, man. How ungrateful are you? You in bondage, man. And the Mosai, the chariots, they saw the part of the Red Sea, and niggas still backslided. Because those are fucking house niggas, man. They just want to be subservient to masters. Uncle Tom's, as they call today. But the Most High have a swift destruction for motherfuckers like that, man.
It says, but the third shall be left therein.
That's what we want to be a part of, man. The third. The third is referred to as gold, silver. Something precious, you know what I'm saying? And something precious, it's hard to find, just like a righteous man. This thing ain't gonna be easy. Go ahead.
Verse 9, and I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried.
That fire is twofold, all right? That's talking about the thermonuclear fire and the trials and tribulations that we go through in this hell. As Yahweh Shai said, he's going to baptize us with fire. But that fire makes us hard, man. You know what I'm saying? When you come through on the other side, you glorify the Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, your countenance change, you build up your spirit. It's all a part of it, man. Go ahead.
It says, they shall call on my name.
Whew. Dang. You know what I want? 2 Ezra 2:47. Baba Kashah. So they shall call upon my name, man. Does IUIC fit that mold? Nah, man. We met them personally. Them niggas told us when we shalom them, Most High in Christ bless. Now we could have stood there and debate with them and go back and forth, but that would be pretty much in vain because you know we're gonna leave thinking the same and they're gonna leave thinking the same, and we had a show to do that day. Go ahead.
2 Ezra 2:47. So he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of the Most High, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord.
And we brought that out last week, man. Hard-headed motherfuckers, man, for the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, which is a righteous thing, right? Because you could be stiff-necked in wickedness and stiff-necked in righteousness, man. So we want to be that righteous stiff-neck, man. Those that stick. So that's why the Apostle Paul said that, man. He said, "Not even don't even let an angel persuade you, man. That's how fast you got to hold to this knowledge, man, and the name of the Lord." Now go back into Zechariah 13:9, I believe.
This is Zechariah 13:9. I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call upon my name, and I will hear them.
Yep, and that's talking about here in America too, because we don't have to get it, but Baruch 3:8, or another one in the second chapter that tells you that we're yet to stay in our captivity. We're going to praise the Heavenly Father in the land of our captivity. What's that? The book of Jude 1:5 or 4? I'll therefore put you in remembrance. You know? So, whether it might be, you know, yes, Jude, put you in remembrance, man, though you once knew this. What do we know? Our nationality, the name of the Lord. The Spirit revealed it back to us. Go ahead.
It says, I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord, they shall say, Yahweh is my power.
Yep, that's right. We're going to say Yahweh Shem Yahushai is our power, man. We're going to be praising Heavenly Father name. Now go to Daniel 12 and 1 and 2. And then after that, we just close out with Deuteronomy 30th chapter. So, you know, what we're trying to establish that, you know, amongst the destruction, amongst the trials and tribulation, amongst the hell that's coming to America, the elect is going to be rewarded, man. That's what we're hoping and praying, and we're doing this work because we want to be a part of that, man. And I keep stressing this, we want to hold our honor. It's a good thing to die with your honor, man. 12 and 3.
This is,
pardon me, 12 and 2. Yep.
This is Daniel 12:2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake.
Yep, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake. Who's that many? 2 Ezra chapter 8 and verse 3.
This is 2 Ezra 8:3. It says, there be many, but few shall be saved.
No, read it again.
2 Ezra 8:3. There be many created, but few shall be saved.
So that many that we're reading about in the Daniel's 12 and 2 is the many that were created. Many of the Israelites that were created. Alright, so many of them is going to awake. Alright? Awake from what? From death. Because we just read that the few that shall be saved, they're not going to be, you know what I'm saying, what they're going to be awake for. Because they're going to be partakers, they're going to be of the first fruit. So they're not going to need to be born again. Alright? Go ahead now, back in Daniel 12. 2, read it again.
This is Daniel 12:2. And many of them that sleep in the dust
Yep, so many of them that perished, go ahead,
of the earth shall awake.
but wait, one in the kingdom of heaven. Right? And pardon me, Salaki, I gotta mention this too. Some of them that perished of the elect is also gonna awake in the kingdom. It's gonna tell you that. Go ahead.
It says,
I'm sorry, some of the righteous that perish is gonna awake in the kingdom. Pardon me. Go ahead.
some to everlasting life.
Some to everlasting life. All right.
And some to shame and everlasting contempt.
Yeah. So you know, you scoffers, you know, you 2/3 niggas. All right, those that scoffed at the man of the Lord. You know what? Yahweh Shem Yahushai gonna put those in remembrance that scoffed at the Lord Himself, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna really fuck with your spirit. Like, damn, man, the Lord's on the scene, and you know what I'm saying? I'll cast stones on him and shit like that. That'll fuck your head up. I mean, it's not gonna last forever. You know what I'm saying? After a while, you know, because you're in the kingdom, you're gonna, the Most High is gonna forgive you and such, but for a long time, it's gonna fuck with your spirit. Yohana Comfy calling himself the Yahweh Shai. Saying, it's just crazy. Go ahead.
Verse 3, Daniel 12:3, and they...
Yep, no, that was it on that. Deuteronomy 30, the one. Yeah, so, doing the topic of salvation, we understand that salvation is not, man, it's for a seldom few, man. Scary.
Deuteronomy 30:1, and it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all nations, whether Yahweh thy power have driven thee.
Yeah, so we know that Deuteronomy 28:15 tells us if we if we break these commandments, the Most High is going to put curses on us, and He did. Saying, go ahead.
Verse 2, and shall return unto Yahweh thy power, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day.
Yeah, so eventually we're going to return to Yahweh Shem Shai, the land of Israel. All right, not now. I'm saying, not on a plane. Okay, because you got these dumbasses out there in the Mona, Israel, believe they're by a fucking power plant. Talking about bless this holy land, man. First of all, there's nothing but faggots, heathenism, bullshit. And Yahweh Shai is not in the stud over there. You know what I'm saying? So that's not the holy land anymore. Go ahead.
And a quick point. And their sons, they gotta join the army over there.
Right. Oh wow, look at that. You gotta be a part of the. Yes, that's a good point. You gotta be part of that Israeli army, which Israeli is not in the scriptures. Go ahead.
Thou and thy children with all thy heart and with all thy soul. Verse 3, that then Yahweh thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee.
The Most High is going to turn our captivity. You know what I'm saying? Once our bodies get changed, we're not going to be sinning anymore. Alright, so there's not going to be no reason for us to be in captivity. There's not going to be any reason for us to die, because the wages of sin is death. This is going to be an everlasting ruling kingdom, man, and righteousness, man. 100% righteousness. You can have brothers jump in your mind and read your mind and don't have to worry about it because your thoughts are going to be pure. Go ahead.
It says, and will return and gather thee from all nations.
Man, we just read that in Revelation, the 7th chapter. See, the Most High, this thing is really plain, man. You know what I'm saying? If the Most High opens your eyes to it, but niggas don't like things simple, man. They don't want to be extra. They want to know the distance from here to the planets, from here to the sun. And, you know what I'm saying? They just want to be extra. Nah, man, the truth is plain. Go ahead.
Whether Yahweh thy power have scattered thee.
Yo, oh my gosh. See, the scriptures just linked, man. Revelation 7 just linked with that. Tobit. It's all just links together, man. That's why it's one testament. You have a precept?
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
This is real quick. This is Jeremiah 32 and 37. Let me go to it. Jeremiah 32 and 37. It says, behold, I will gather them out of all countries, whether I have driven them in my anger and in my fury and in great wrath, and I will bring them again unto this place, and will cause them to dwell safely. Because Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, beginning with the Most High, He scattered us throughout all nations because we broke the law, statutes, and commandments. As a curse, when you read Deuteronomy 20 and 64, the Heavenly Father, as one of the curses in the scriptures, He tell you that He will scatter us throughout all nations. And it says all countries here. And when you do your research, there's like about right now 197 countries, but we know there's only 18 nations in the scriptures. Verse 38, and they shall be my people, and I will be their power. Referring to the Israelites only. Verse 39, I will give them one heart and one way, that they may fear me forever, for the good of them and of their children after them. And here's the last verse, the point. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them, that I will not turn away from them to do them good, but I will put my fear in their hearts, that they should not depart from me. Because when we Lord willing, we be a part of the elect, and just the elect in general, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, He's gonna put it in our minds not to go off. We're gonna know the law, statutes, and commandments.
Got a precept for you. This is Hebrews chapter 8, verse 8. I'll start at 7. It says, "For if the first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. For finding fault with them, he said, Behold, the days come, said the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah."
Yeah, Yahweh Bashem Yashai is going to make a new covenant with us, in the kingdom, because we already went off with the first covenant, but when we get these new bodies, these incorruptible bodies, these perfect bodies, we're not going to go off again,
Yep, it says, "Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind, and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people."
Yeah, because when we get these new bodies, we're going to be incorruptible. We're not going to go off again. We're not going into captivity again. Remember, when you read Daniel 2:44, the kingdom is not going to be left to other people. The Heavenly Father, and through His Son, He's going to put the laws in our inward parts, those new bodies. So we're not going off no more. This is the final captivity under the nation of Edom.
I'll finish it up because it's pretty good. And it says, "And they shall not teach every man his neighbor, and every man his brother."
Yeah.
Say,
Yeah, so we're not going to have to teach our neighbor, meaning our Israelite brothers, we're not going to have to teach them the law, statutes, and commandments. We're not going to have camps in the kingdom. We're going to know the law, statutes, and commandments, beginning with the elect,
Yep, it says, "And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest."
Yeah, so all of us is going to know Yahweh Bashem Yashai, from the elect, beginning with the elect, to the ones that come back. That's going to know the death by pain when you read the scriptures. The 2/3, when they come back, they're going to know the law, statutes, and commandments.
It says, "For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more."
Yeah, so Yahweh Bashem Yashai, He's not going to remember that, excuse me if I'm wrong, the elect, what we did on this side, because we're doing His will right now.
Yeah, that's not just the elect, the whole nation, brother.
The whole nation.
Yep. It says, "In that He saith, A new covenant He hath made the first old. Now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away."
Yeah, because we already broke that, but the new covenant, with Yahushua's blood, right?
Con.
We're gonna know these law, statutes, and commandments.
That's right, brother.
Yeah. So listen.
Deuteronomy 30.
Verse 1, right?
No. You would think you had read a couple verses.
You want me to read verse 4? I think I was up to 4.
All right.
Deuteronomy 30:4. If any of thine be driven out unto the outmost of.
You gotta read the outmost parts.
Let me read it again. Deuteronomy 30:4. If any of thine be driven out unto the outmost parts of heaven, from thence will Yahweh thy power gather thee, and from thence will He fetch thee.
Continue.
Verse 5. And the most high thy power will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and He will do thee good, and multiply thee above thy fathers.
So Yahweh Bashem Yashai is going to bring us into the land of Israel. Not no plane. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And Yahweh thy power will circumcise thy heart and the heart of thy seed.
Yep, well, we just read that in Hebrews 11 chapter. Go ahead.
To love Yahweh thy power with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. Verse 7. And Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee.
Wait a minute. All the enemies and them that hate me. Now, all you nations that get Psalms chapter 81, we're going to close out with this part of me. Psalm chapter 81, verse 12. All right? Who hate the Lord? Who are the Lord's haters? Right? Because the Lord has haters. We brought this out during the Saturday show. Psalms 81 and 12.
This is Psalms 81 and 12. It says, so I give them up unto their own hearts' lust.
11.
Psalms 81 and 11. But my people will not hearken to my voice, and Israel would none of me. Verse 12. So I gave them up unto their own hearts' lust.
Yeah, their own heart lust. So, you know, like you look at these faggots, homosexuals, these devil worshippers. They wouldn't hearken to the Lord, so the Most High just said, fuck them. Take your own counsel. Go ahead.
And they walked in their own counsels.
Yep.
Verse 13, oh, that my people had hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways.
Yeah, man, the Lord's just saying, man, if you just listen to me, look what I've done for you. Go ahead.
Verse 14, I should soon have subdued their enemies.
Their enemies. Now, we don't have to get, was that Psalms 83? But the enemies of the Lord are, you know, you just go to the UN building. All these other nations, all the 17 nations are our enemies. Starting chiefly with the nation of Edom. Go ahead.
And turn my hand against their adversaries.
Yeah, man. Go ahead. Go ahead. I love this part.
Verse 15, the haters of the Lord.
Yeah, I thought the Lord didn't speak with slang. You go in the Bible, okay, the haters of the Lord, man. So the Most High got haters. We just read in Deuteronomy 37, them that hate thee is going to be cursed in the kingdom. So you nations are going to be looking at each other sideways in the kingdom of heaven, robbing each other, catching jokes on each other, fucking each other over. All the curses that are upon us, that's going to befall y'all in the kingdom. All right, go ahead.
Should have submitted themselves unto him, but their time should have endured forever.
Yeah, man. So if we'd have listened, man, the Most High would have, you know, kept us right. But the haters of the Lord, these nations, 2/3, they fucked everything up, man. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna pay. All right. So with that, ultimately, you got anything up?
I got
All right, so go ahead and close this out. Our salvation is nearer than it seems. I forgot what scripture that is, but it's, you know, scriptures tell you that even now, I believe it's Romans, even now is also Romans 13. I can get it.
And 11? Or?
I think so, 13 and 11. I'll get it, brother. Okay. Salvation, our salvation, we should bring that out, because the topic is salvation. So wait, get what you was gonna get. I'll get Romans.
This is Psalms 139, and I'm gonna start from 21. Now I hate the Lord that hate thee, and am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee? And these heathen, when you read Psalms 83, they rose up against the Lord. And how did they rise up against the Lord? They rose up against his people, you know, by oppressing his people. You know, you see these heathens and our the Israelites, which are the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, dwelling places. You know, there's like 2 Chinese spots. There's like 3 delis owned by the Ishmaelites, which are the
They call those
Arabs.
food deserts. They call them food deserts.
Yeah, you know. So they rose up against the verse 22. It says, "I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them my enemies." So you know these heathens, they are enemies. You know they're not for Yahweh Bashem Yashad. They're against us. You know, a lot of these people that own, you know, these delis, you know, the Ishmaelites, the so-called Arabs, you know, a lot of them is Muslims, you know.
All right. This is Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time that is now high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we believe. You know what I'm saying? So, brothers, hope you all edified. You know what I'm saying? We're going to give all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles and elders of great most on which you well, and salutations to hopefully elect our day brothers that sincerely do this thing in truth and sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.